Hello and welcome to MLC TV News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluence state of Nigeria. I am Morno Balagobo. First, the headlines. President Buhari challenged bishops to play active roles in building brotherhood and sustainable peace. UN pledges support for reintegration of ex-Boko Haram combatants. Biden reacts to overturn of abortion rights by Supreme Court. And West Ham Rangers focused on comeback beats Europa, Liverpool advance to Champions League finale. And now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday called on the Nigerian Catholic bishops to keep on speaking truth to power and extend their message of change to violent non-state actors. According to him, some of them are propagating genuine causes, but with mindless brutality. Buhari, who was represented by Vice President Yomi Osibanjo, spoke at the opening of the 4th Plenary Assembly of the Reunion of Episcopal Conferences of West Africa, which held in Abuja with the theme Fratelli Tutti, Path to Build Brotherhood and Sustainable Peace in Africa. He said the West African sub-region was passing through a season of considerable political, economic and social turmoil, but challenged the bishops to play active roles in building brotherhood and sustainable peace. He said, indeed, the Catholic Church and the Bishops' Conference have established a reputation for speaking truth to power in consonance with the highest prophetic traditions, and by continuing its illustrious practice of inspiring social action by the lay faithful over the years, the Church has modeled profound approaches in challenging the impunity of some state actors and errant power. The president said peace cannot reign in the region if it does not first reign in individual communities and countries. To this end, he said the federal government was committed to collaborating with the church and all well-meaning actors in promoting peace and security. He added, our goals of unity and integration have always been thwarted, not just by concerns of individual sovereignty of our nations, but also by internal crisis and social conflicts in our nations and around the borders. Delivering his address, the President Reunion of Episcopal Conferences of West Africa, Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama, asked political leaders to work harder to deliver good governance to the people. He maintained that Catholic bishops in the region, without becoming politically partisan, would continue to ring out their prophetic voices on behalf of the voiceless multitude suffering. In his remarks, the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Most Reverend Lucius Ugoji, said the international community must work together to develop new strategies to tackle global problems. The committee set up by the federal government to renegotiate the 2009 agreements with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and other university-based unions have submitted its interim report to the Ministry of Education. Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige, who disclosed this, said the Education Ministry has already commenced work on the report. However, hours after public university workers under the aegis of the National Association of Academic Technologists, NAT, said that their ongoing warning strike is now indefinite. The union said they had adopted a no-pay, no-work stance in response to government's no-work, no-pay policy. The renegotiation of the agreements is one of the demands of the four university-based unions, ASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, and NAT. Other demands are non-deployment of the University Transparency and Accountability Solution, non-release of revitalization funds for universities, non-payment of earned allowances for university teachers, and shortfall of payment as a result of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System (IPPIS). The 7-member renegotiation committee is headed by Professor Emeritus Nimi Briggs, the Pro-Chancellor of Alex Ekweme Federal University, Ndufu Alike Ukwo, Ebonyi State. ASU was, however, absent when the committee was inaugurated on March 7, 2022. It had insisted that government should commence implementation of the existing pact instead of wasting time through the committee. When contacted, ASU President Emmanuel Osodeke said the union was not aware the Briggs-led committee had submitted its report. But Ngige, who said that discussions were ongoing to end strike by the unions, added that he would meet with either SANU or NASU leadership tomorrow. He added not say if he would also be contacted, ASU or not. The minister said discussions are ongoing not only with ASU but with all the other education unions. On Thursday, I will meet either SANU or NASU. But ASU President Osodeke said the report would be of no value to university teachers if it did not expressly state that the government should sign the agreements renegotiated in May last year. His words, except the report is saying that they, government, should sign the agreement, then fine. But if they, panel, have submitted another thing, then they don't want this issue strike to be resolved because they have not discussed anything meaningful with us. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has promised to support reintegration process for repentant Boko Haram fighters into the society. The Secretary General made the promise when he paid a courtesy to Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum at the government house in Maiduguri. The war against Boko Haram insurgency had in the last 1 year assumed a different dimension with the mass surrender of fighters and members of their family. So far, more than 50,000 combatants and non-combatants have surrendered to authorities in Borno State and are currently undergoing rehabilitation. This unprecedented act have attracted global attention, and the United Nations Secretary General is personally leading a delegation to assess the situation. Antonio Guterres, during a courtesy visit to Governor Babagana Zulum, commended the state government for putting in place the right mechanism to fighting terrorism. According to him, investing in livelihood of victims of insurgency and reintegration of repentant Boko Haram fighters remains the greatest way of ending the crisis. The UN Secretary General called on the international community to support Borno State in addressing the humanitarian needs of internally displaced persons and returnees. He noted that humanitarian aid is not the major concern of IDPs in Borno, rather providing favorable conditions to enable them return back to their ancestral homes in safety and dignity. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum appreciated the United Nations system for rendering life-saving humanitarian and development assistance during the 12 years of insurgency. He appealed to the United Nations to assist in resuscitation of the Lake Chad and strategic humanitarian support to IDPs outside Maiduguri. Governor Zulum assured that his administration would continue to partner with the United Nations to ensure victims of insurgency live in dignity and be productive members of the society. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said that men of integrity are needed to pilot the affairs of the country. This is as he expressed optimism that all would be well with Nigeria, regardless of the country's present situation and condition. Obasanjo, who said this at a global crusade organized by the Deeper Life Bible Church Abeokuta, urged Nigerians to have faith in God. The former president said, considering the situation of things, Nigeria and the entire world require God's visitation, advising all children of God to seek his face for visitation. He said that Noah stood out in his time, and also Job, who God described as a man who feared God and shunned evil, and a man of great integrity. The General Overseer of the Church, Pastor Williams Kumuyi, who had earlier paid a visit to the former president, prayed to God to grant him many more years to contribute to the progress of the country. Kumuyi stated that his visit was to show respect to Obasanjo and to also invite him to the crusade where he could share his words of wisdom with the people and the global community. The General Overseer in his message said that God had prepared complete dominion over the circumstances of the world through Jesus Christ. Kumuyi said that the only way to have complete dominion over problem and other circumstances was to live in holiness and consecration to God through Jesus Christ.
Every country has its peculiar system of government. In Nigeria, we practice democracy, and this is applicable in some countries across the globe, including the United States of America. What is democracy? It is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In the political arena, we are ready to x-ray how we play politics in Nigeria and other countries, the challenge of power shift syndrome, how it has impacted or affected the people. How can we make it better for all? Join Fatima Yacob on Melkite TV online every Saturday by 9 p.m. to discuss and to examine all about the politics and the power that be.
Mr. President, I was once there as an opposition senator. There was never a time that we called the president at that time, who was a PDP president, an insult, because this is our institution. And if we don't conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, nobody will respect us.
The heads of security in Nigeria made several different explanations for killings of our citizens.
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I hereby forward for the confirmation by the Senate the appointment of the underlisted nominees as National Commissioners and Resident Electoral Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
To watch or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Melkite TV, like our Facebook page, MLC TV, and follow us on our Instagram, MLC TV 2021. We are here to inform, educate, and to criticize constructively. Don't miss it.
And now to stories in politics. Rivers State Governor and PDP presidential aspirant EX-BOKO has commended Kogi Governor Yaya Bello for youth inclusion in his administration and championing the unity of the people of Kogi. Wike, who was in the state on a consultation visit, made a commendation when he visited Governor Bello at the Government House, Lokoja. Governor Yaya Bello, who welcomed his colleague and presidential aspirant, described Governor Wike as a respected politician whom he is sure will train more youths in the pursuit of creating a united Nigeria where peace and unity shall reign. Wike was accompanied by the FCT Senator Udoma Udo Udoma, former Attorney General Federation Mohammed Bello Adoke, former Governor of Gombe State Ibrahim Hassan Dankwambo, Senator Suleiman Nazir representing Bauchi North, Kogi State PDP Chairman, and other party stalwarts. A co-advocate of Not Too Young to Run, a philanthropist, and a Kogi State Okene Ogori Magongo APC House of Representatives aspirant, Hamzat Lawal, was honored by the UME Entertainment organizer. The award was confirmed on Hamza during the 2023 Verite Comedy and Award Annual Show in Okene Local Government, Kogi State. Hamza was commended for his humanitarian services by the organizer.
This is a program that peoples that matter, household, ward head, community leaders, students used to attend. This is where we can enlighten them what is criminality and what it can cause in our society. For doing that, if you are telling them the negativity of criminality, they will change, starting change from bad to good.
In his remarks, Hamza commended Governor Yaya Bello for creating the conducive environment for women and youths to thrive to attain greater heights politically.
What are the track record and antecedents of the people who are calling us to elect them as the President of the Federal Republic? It's exciting that my governor has made history as the first person picking the expression of interest form and nomination form. I believe that as young people, we must elect people that look like us. Let us change the status quo. Let power shift from the older generation to the younger generation. And I believe that when we have people like us in power and in office, we can then relate as friends, as brothers, but most importantly as partners towards progress.
He emphasized that Governor Bello's security surveillance consciousness is yielding results in every sector of the economy in the state, and that he has volunteered to support Governor Bello for a better state and Nigeria, hence his decision to contest the House of Representatives in the coming general election. Hansa called on Nigerians to support Governor Bello's ambition.
Pledging my support to His Excellency Yaya Bello, the executive governor of my state, Kogi State, I would align myself with the vision and aspiration of the political decision in Kogi State. As I continue my conversation and consultation, whatever the decision of my executive governor is what I would abide by. We all know that the executive governor of every state is also the party leader of the state. Even if this is not recognized in the constitution, but this is by principle. But also for me, I would continue, and I'm committing that I would continue my humanitarian activity in ensuring that women and children get access to quality education, quality healthcare, but most importantly, access to water, sanitation, and hygiene in various grassroots communities. I am committing that I would ensure that I work with government, who are state actors. I work with private sector, who are non-state actors, to ensure that we continue to serve the interests and aspiration of the Nigerian people.
He also described Nigeria's youths as embodiment of talents and urged them to tailor their energy towards the promotion of peace in the country, and urged them to make changes that they want by obtaining their PVC to vote for a leader who is keen on building a better Nigeria.
Permanent voters card is the true power that the Nigerian people have. In the eyes of the permanent voters card, we're all equal. I have one vote. President Muhammadu Buhari has one vote. His Excellency, the Governor of Kogi State, has one vote. What it means is the electoral process and system has ensured equity to achieve what we want in Nigeria, and by doing so is getting our permanent voters card, but most importantly, coming out on election day to cast our ballot.
Other dignitaries at the event also called on youths to do the needful to change the negative narratives of the country, Nigeria.
No, we're encouraging, we're finding every means on radio stations and every social media platform to encourage our people to go out, because the only way to stop bad governance is by our vote.
So I advise everybody, especially the youth, the student, they should go out to go and register on INEC registration that is going on now.
For those that don't have their PVC, I advise them to go and get their PVC, because that's their strength.
This year's Verite show was tagged Happiness of Life. It provided a platform for the upcoming stars in Ibira land to display their talents and build a viral future for themselves in the entertainment industry. It also brought together the youth of the area to showcase the Ibira rich cultural heritage through music for the promotion of peace, unity, and development of Ibira land. We're now going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Glad to have you back with us. And now to news in crime. The Islamic State of West Africa province killed 3 people in Kautikari ward of Chibok local government area, while the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres was paying a courtesy visit to the Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum at the government house in Maiduguri. The terrorists have attacked the village countless times within the past 5 months, according to a Chibok resident. The attack, according to the villagers, started around 6 p.m. All the villagers deserting for safety in the nearby Sambisa forest where the terrorists camped. The attack occurred almost the same time as the UN Secretary General was visiting Borno State for an on-the-spot assessment of the level of damage done by the Boko Haram insurgency in Borno. The UN chief who visited Gubio camp immediately when he arrived in Maiduguri told Zulum that he was happy with the condition he met the IDPs and pledged to offer all necessary assistance to ensure the safe return of IDPs to their ancestral homes in line with the state government's resettlement plan. Abidemi Rufai, a former senior special assistant to Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun, has pleaded guilty to his role in a $350,000 heist in the United States. According to the Seattle Times, 45-year-old Rufai pleaded guilty in his U.S. District Court in Tacoma to charges that he used stolen social security numbers and other personal data to file $350 in fake claims for pandemic unemployment benefits in 2020. The medium also quoted the U.S. Attorney's Office in Seattle as saying that Rufai pleaded guilty to stealing benefits from other states as well as another $250 from other federal programs. From 2017 and 2022, Rufai filed fraudulent claims for $1.7 million federal tax refunds, of which $90,000 was paid out. Rufai has agreed to repay the stolen funds through it, wasn't clear how he would make payments or whether his agreement meant he still had access to the stolen funds. Rufai, who has been in custody since May 2021, arrested at New York's Kennedy International Airport as he was about to fly to Nigeria, was Abiodun's aide. The governor had suspended him and called for thorough investigation into the matter. Last August, a federal high court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, had ordered the interim forfeiture of the funds and properties traced to Rufai. Justice Tijani Rigim made the order sequel to expert motion filed and argued by a counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ebuka Okongwu. Earlier, it was reported that his Department of Justice District of Washington said Rufai used the pseudonym Sandy Tank and the stolen identities of more than 100 Washington residents to file fraudulent claims with Employment Security Department for unemployment benefits last year during the COVID-19 pandemic. The criminal complaint also said Rufai mailed some of the proceeds of his fraud to the Jamaica and the New York addresses of his relatives, with more than $288,000 deposits between March-August 2020. Rufai risks 30 years in prison for wire fraud. And now to news on the foreign scene. The EU has proposed some of its toughest measures yet against Russia, including a total ban on oil imports and sanctions on war crimes suspects. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the package was aimed at maximizing pressure on Russia while minimizing damage to Europe. Russian crude oil will be phased out within 6 months, she said. Hungary has rejected proposal as unacceptable, and Czech and Slovak governments want a transition period. The EU has been focusing for weeks on how to wean itself off Russian oil and gas. It has also already pledged to reduce gas imports by 2/3 by the end of 2022 and now plans to phase out crude oil over 6 months and refined products by the end of 2022. We will make sure that we phase out Russian oil in an orderly fashion, the Commission President said. The package first has to be approved by the EU ambassadors and is set to be signed off in the next few days. But Hungarian government spokesman Zoltán Kovács said his country would veto it in its current form. They exactly know that what they are proposing is against Hungarian interests, and if we do that, we are completely going to ruin the Hungarian economy. Slovakia, as well as Hungary, currently relies on Russian oil, and under the initial proposal, will be given until the end of 2023 to find alternative suppliers. Slovakia's economy minister said his country wanted a 3-year transition period, while Czech Prime Minister Petra Fiala said he would also seek a 2 to 3 year exemption to tackle problems with pipeline capacity. And now to sports, we now join Jonah Malik for the updates. Please stay with us.
And on sports updates, West Ham United and Rangers must both overturn first leg deficit against German opposition on Thursday if they are to reach the Europa League final. While Leicester City head to Italy aiming to deny Jose Mourinho's AS Roma a place in the first ever final in the Europa Conference League. Frankfurt have the initiative as they prepare to host West Ham after winning 2-1 in their semi-final first leg in London last week. Having knocked out FC Barcelona in the last 8, they are eyeing the first European final since defeating Borussia Mönchengladbach to win the UEFA Cup in 1980. Standing in their way are a West Ham side who knocked out Sevilla and Lyon in the last 2 rounds and are themselves targeting a first European final in 46 years since they lost to Adelaide in the Cup winners in 1976. If West Ham do go through, they will become the 7th English club to reach the finals of the UEFA Cup or Europa League since 2000. And there is still a chance it could be an all-British affair. Rangers UEFA Cup runner-up in 2008 welcomed RB Leipzig to Ibrox, looking to turn around their 1-0 loss in Germany when Angelino's late strike ended the Scottish side's resilience. RB Leipzig push for Champions League qualification via the Bundesliga has stalled after back-to-back defeats, but it would be an enormous achievement for Rangers if they could defeat Mönchengladbach. Meanwhile, in the UEFA Champions League, Liverpool defeated Villarreal 3-2 on Tuesday night to advance to the final for the 3rd time in 5 years. Wednesday night, we'll see Real Madrid host Manchester City at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Madrid goes into the duel after losing the first leg of their semi-final at Etihad Stadium to Manchester City 4-3. The winners will join Liverpool in the May 28th finals in Paris. And that's sports update on MLC TV News. Back to our caster for more stories. I am Malik Jonah.
And that is the size of our package today. Do join us tomorrow at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachite TV, like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter handle at MLC TV 1 for your event coverage, information, contribution, advert and sponsorship. Please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Do join us on Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. Friday 9 p.m. Local Government and You. Saturday 7 p.m. Family Affairs. 9 p.m. Political Arena. And Women's World Sundays by 6 p.m. It's Malachite TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Morno Balagubu. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.